Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel. My name is Kim. I'm a Filipino American who was diagnosed with BPD, and I make videos for anyone who wants to hear about my experiences, some tips and tricks for managing BPD. So if that sounds like you, please like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, so you probably clicked on this video because you have a loved one who self-harms and you don't know how to handle it. First off, I'm going to give you some tips on what not to do because this can actually scare them from opening up to you. And then I'm going to go into some suggestions for how you can get them to feel understood and help them stop self-harming. Keep in mind that you're not a professional, you're not a doctor, so you're not trying to take place of a therapist, but you're just trying to show them that you're here for them, you're holding their hand, and you're there when they need to talk. All right, so from the list of what not to do, number 1, don't make your feelings the focal point of the conversation because that makes the discussion all about you rather than them. And an example from my life that I can back this up with is the first time that I told my mom that I self-harmed. I actually didn't tell her. She found scars on me. And I know that it was shocking for her and I understand that, but the focal point became, how do I not scare my mom and how do I stop my mom from crying? Because she was so sad, and it just didn't seem like an environment where I could tell her how I felt because there was so much emotion coming from her, and it was mostly about how to stop making her cry. And my point is, you don't want to make the person feel like this. You don't want to shift it to be about you and your worries, even though you are concerned and you care about them. If that's true, then you should say that, but don't make the conversation about how you feel. Number 2, don't shame them or make fun of them. This is a no-brainer, but I've heard some stories where, partners will shame their partner for self-harming and make fun of them even. And I know that it's tempting to just want to explain to your loved one, like, look, this does nothing for you. This is wrong. This is hurtful. This is not good. And it's stupid because you're just hurting yourself even more. That's just the most insensitive thing that you could say. And it pisses me off so much to hear that people treat their loved ones like that, especially if they are self-harmers, because all this does is make us feel like we're wrong. We personalize that comment and we feel like we are stupid, we are fucked up, and really that's not conducive to helping us recover, and we may relapse again because we feel so badly about ourselves. So what you're doing is actually not helping, and I really, there's no reason to even shame anyone for anything. No matter what the activity is, you're not helping. And the downside to that is they will most likely hide the fact that they're self-harming from you so that they're not ridiculed again and again by you. So yeah, this one I'm very passionate about. Don't shame them. Don't make fun of them, even if it seems stupid to you that they self-harm. Number 3 is kind of in the same vein as number 2. Don't make them promise you that they will never self-harm again. You may be setting them up for failure because self-harm is a psychological attachment, and they can't just stop. They can't just will themselves to stop when this has been their only coping skill for most of their lives. So yeah, going back to that previous example, I'm also passionate about this one. So let's say that your partner is hurting themselves, and out of love, you're like, oh my gosh, I really don't want you to do this anymore. Please make a promise to me that you'll never cut yourself. Then their motivation to quit cutting is built on appeasing you rather than wanting to actually get better. So this is not a good idea. I think that the intention might be good, but the execution for showing them that you care and you want them to stop is actually going to backfire on you. So just like with the previous number, this one also can lead to them relapsing and just hiding it from you because they don't want to let you down. Number 4, don't offer unsolicited advice. Telling your loved one to do yoga and meditate and exercise or whatever it may be instead of hurting themselves is pretty patronizing, even if the intention is good and you mean well. If you haven't taken the time to understand what their addiction is like, why they do it, and you're just trying to throw a bone at them and tell them to do this and maybe they'll forget about it, you're just trying to fix them rather than understand them. And that doesn't make us feel heard. It doesn't make us feel seen. It doesn't show us that you're trying to be there for us. It just shows us that you're trying to fix us. So here are some things that you can do instead that will most likely help them not want to cut or self-harm anymore. The first time I ever felt true compassion from someone when they found out that I would self-harm was when I told my husband. He tried to understand me and ask me questions rather than tell me what I should and shouldn't do. I knew he was concerned, but he didn't make the conversation about how bad he felt. And it really opened up the discussion for me to dig deep and even admit to myself why I self-harm. I was able to think back to the conversation when I wanted to self-harm again, and it made me think of my husband and how I could turn to him. So you want to make your loved one feel this so that they don't feel so alone, and so that they don't have to hide the fact that they're self-harming, and they can think of you the next time they want to do it. They might actually call you or tell you that they need to talk. Number 2 is to encourage them to seek professional help because you are not a counselor or a therapist. Let them know that you will be there for them as much as possible, but that you're not equipped to help them professionally. Now, my husband very gently encouraged me to seek therapy in a way where he brought it up to me several times, but it matched the conversation. He wasn't hounding me to see a therapist. And eventually I became curious about DBT. And that is a type of therapy that helped me stop cutting. But the way that he just presented it to me was perfect. Like, he didn't make it seem like I had to go if I didn't want to. So it was more of a decision for myself. And you really want to make your loved one feel this way too, but just continue to remind them that this is an option for them and that you'll always be there for them no matter what. Number 3, offer your support. Let them know you will be by their side and you're here to talk if they ever want to vent. This is simple, but these words of affirmation mean a lot to someone who is in the dark. So if you're a parent or a friend or a partner to someone who self-harms, you might think that they should already know this about you, but to be honest, we don't. We have it in our heads that we have to take care of how we feel by ourselves, and we mask how we feel with the act of self-harm. So a simple reminder that we can turn to you whenever will help us deal with our moods better, will help us deal with our emotions that tend to sideswipe us. And I don't know, I just feel like this is like one of the most important things you need to let them know, even if you think that they should already know this about you, because just hearing it is an act of love. This is a love language. Words of affirmation is often overlooked by people that don't know how to communicate. And if you're not used to communicating with your loved one, this is a good reason to start. I hope that this advice has helped you. I don't want to come off as preachy. I know that I get really emotional talking about self-harm, but it's just because it's something I was addicted to for a long time, and I didn't meet people that understood me until I was about 25. So I've experienced a lot of people who meant well, but they just made me feel uncomfortable when they found out that I self-harmed, either by making a joke out of it or by just crying and letting the conversation be all about them. So I encourage you to take my advice. I really want for you to get through to your loved one, because I know that it's hard and it's scary, but as long as you know what not to do, then you're good. So please like, comment, and subscribe if this video helped you, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!